If you plan to breastfeed, it's a good idea to learn how to express your breast milk. It may benefit your baby if he is born early or needs a little time to learn to feed at the breast. Later on, if you wish, it can allow you to have some time away from your baby or return to work while continuing to breastfeed. In this film, we'll meet 3 mothers who express their breast milk for different reasons, and we'll learn how to do it in different ways. Teresa is breastfeeding her newborn son Rufus and wants to learn how to express breast milk by hand because she knows it's a useful skill. Nikki, a local breastfeeding support worker, has come to help.
It's important that you've got a wide vessel is better, really, so it's good you've got a nice jug, anything really, expressing to anything, so long as it's clean. If it's been cleaned out with nice hot soapy water, then that's ideal, really.
Good hygiene is very important, and you should always wash your hands before you start. If you are expressing milk for a preterm baby, you should use a sterile bottle to collect your milk. And this is also ideal for newborns. For healthy term babies, you can also use a container that has been thoroughly washed with hot soapy water. Nikki also explains that there are steps you can take before you start expressing to help get your milk flowing. It helps to be near your baby if you can. Having a warm bath or shower or using warm flannels on your breast can also help, as can massage.
If you're aiming from going out from the outside of the breast down towards the areola and the nipple, that can just help to bring the milk down and help to release it. That's great action that you're doing. That feels nice and comfortable. It's not sore.
It's not painful.
That's nice. That's anything like kneading. Like
bread.
Can all help, just so long as it's comfortable for you.
So is it all round or just at the top?
You can do it all round the breast. It's the breast is like a clock face and the milk ducts are all the way round.
Yeah.
So what you're aiming to do eventually is to feel down, once you've massaged and you feel nice and relaxed, is to aim for around the back of your areola, if you feel around there. And you just literally squeezing your thumb and your forefinger together around. It's quite near the back of the areola. A lot of mums do squeeze near to the nipple. You're not going to get anything really there.
It's like your baby. You need to.
It's further back than you would think. That's right. It's already starting there. And if you take that kind of C-shaped hold, that's brilliant. And it literally is just squeezing your thumb and your forefinger together. Well, that's fantastic. It's flowing really nicely. It's great.
Teresa is expressing mature breast milk, but in the first days of your baby's life, you'd expect to express very small quantities of colostrum, which is often yellow in colour. If your newborn baby seems reluctant to attach at the breast, giving him some expressed colostrum can help. Even tiny amounts of expressed colostrum are enormously beneficial if you have a preterm baby who can't feed at the breast. For more information, you may find it helpful to watch the short film on feeding preterm babies. Around the 3rd or 4th day, like Teresa, you'll probably notice a change as your mature milk begins to come in. Your milk will become whiter and more fluid.
That's great. It's flowing so nicely. You're a real dab hand. It's brilliant.
It's helpful for every mother to know how to hand express, because if your breasts begin to feel very full and hard, hand expressing a little milk can be a good way to avoid painful engorgement.
Oh, this is fantastic. You've done so well.
Even expressing a small amount of milk from an engorged breast can make it easier for your baby to attach and have a good feed. It can be helpful to make a C shape with your thumb and fingers, at least an inch back from the nipple. You shouldn't pull, squeeze hard or slide your hands over the breast, as this may damage your breast tissue. Through breastfeeding, your milk supply will increase to meet your baby's growing needs, and you'll be able to express larger quantities. As well as breastfeeding, Linda has been expressing milk for several months, so while she is out, Dad or a babysitter can still give breast milk to 10-month-old Kiva.
I kept expressing the past few months to have milk available that I could have some flexibility and freedom, that I could go out and go shopping, I could meet up with people, I could go out in the evenings, me and her dad could go out, that I didn't have to be with the baby all the time. Expressing milk meant that I had the option. I could go out, but she would still be being fed. So it's a reassurance to know that she's still getting milk whenever I'm not with her.
Many mothers find it quick and comfortable to use a breast pump, although starting off with a bit of massage and hand expressing is a good way to stimulate the flow of milk. There's a wide range of hand and electric pumps available. You can express from one breast at a time or both together. Double pumping is quicker and especially helpful if you need to increase your milk supply. There are special expressing bras you can use which hold the collecting sets in place and keep your hands free. Your breast milk can be safely stored in sterile containers or bags in the fridge or freezer. In the back of your fridge, at 4 degrees Celsius or lower, you can keep it for up to 5 days. In your freezer, at minus 18 degrees Celsius or lower, you can keep it for up to 6 months. It's best to let frozen milk thaw in the fridge overnight or under cool running water. You can gradually increase the temperature of the water to warm the milk to feeding temperature. You should never use a microwave to thaw or heat express milk, or heat it directly on the stove. Linda will soon be returning to work and plans to continue breastfeeding.
I'm still enjoying it, she's still enjoying it. So it's really important that work doesn't affect that and that they're supportive of me keeping going.
Linda will need to express breast milk at work, and she's gone to speak to her employer to make sure everything is arranged in advance.
There's a room that I'm going to use, has been assigned, it's now got a lock on it, that I can have a private space to go in and express. And it was a big step to actually say to my boss, you know, I'm going to breastfeed. What made it handier was that I had got leaflets about returning to work and breastfeeding. So I kind of used those as the way to start the conversation, to say, look, I want to breastfeed whenever I go back, and this is what's required of you. So that was an easy introduction into the conversation that I didn't know how I was going to bring up the subject.
Community nurse Laura is also a breastfeeding mother. She has been back at work for several months and expresses some breast milk once a day.
I work in different areas, and generally I just go in along when I feel I need to and ask for a private room. But your employer is obliged to provide a private room with a sink for you, and also they are actually obliged to provide a fridge for you to store your breast milk in. I don't generally do that. I just generally keep my milk in the cool bag, because you can keep it for between 6 and 8 hours in a cool bag, and I'm always home by the end of that time anyway.
For Laura, returning to work has been no barrier to breastfeeding.
Hello! Mikey! Hello, darling!
Expressing at work means that she can leave breast milk for her toddler Michael to have when she can't be with him. And both she and her son continue to enjoy a special bond through breastfeeding.
It was something that we got so much enjoyment out of, and it was also the thought of being able to come home at the end of the day and have that time and those few minutes together and just, you know, reconnect with the wee one and just relax. It's lovely. Gives me a chance to kind of come back down a wee bit and get a chance to get a cuddle of my wee boy as well. It's great.
If your baby is born very early or can't breastfeed for medical reasons, with the right support, it is possible to establish and maintain your milk supply by expressing alone. You may find it helpful to watch the short film on preterm babies.